sweetness and light. It was shot
Mackenzie
beautifully.
Crook is, I think they've just found his sort of talent here because he wrote, directed, and starred in this, and I think all three elements of that he does so well.
And I just think those two as a
Toby
pair,
Jones is amazing
you just believe them. It was hidden away on BBC4, but I kind of like that because it made it, I discovered it, and it made it my thing.
It was kind of cultish, I think, really, is what you're...
Okay, so we need to just decide which was the better show out of Unforgotten.
I mean, I definitely think Unforgotten was. And what do you think, Gary?
Well, do you know what? Up to the fact that they've announced Series 2 for both programmes, which I think is interesting as a comparison, I'd go for Unforgotten slightly because they wrapped up the storyline, and I know why they're going to come back. But with Dr. Foster, I'm still a little unclear.
And Luke, Unforgotten wasn't on your list.
No, it wasn't, and I didn't forget about it, ironically. I just think it was more run-of-the-mill than the rest of the shows on the list. And I'm going to make a bit of a case for Dr. Foster, which I myself fell in and out of love with throughout its run. I thought the characters were a bit one-dimensional. Saran Jones couldn't be faulted, but I thought it was it was slick and it was shot a bit different, but that was something that I learned to like. But when I think about Dr. Foster, I don't think of anything else other than that final episode and how fast-paced it was, how I felt when she was at the dining table with everybody and made her announcement, when he threw her against the wall, when he thought she put her son in danger. That whole hour was worth the 4 that I wasn't that keen on, because I thought it was really well done.
I think the only thing about Dr. Foster that might have put some people off is you really had to concentrate at times.
You did with Unforgotten.
I disagree.
I disagree with that.
There were certain points where the plot changed so much and went in directions that you weren't expecting it to, that if you were casually watching, and I know we've said this before, and how some people do this, particularly with BBC One shows, that if they didn't follow what was going on, they might have missed something crucial. We, as people who like television and knew about this show and wanted to watch it...
Matt and
I watched it as it went along. Whatever. I really paid attention and even rewound and rewatched key bits sometimes, particularly the scene where she found all his things in the boot. But go on, why don't you agree?
One too many episodes of this, I think, is one thing. I think.
No, I would agree with
that. And I just think, Luke, if you're saying, "Oh, I only liked it for that one episode," whereas Unforgotten, the entire series, I think there wasn't a weak episode among the 6. I think
the final was quite weak.
I would disagree in
a way
completely.
I think you got. I agree with Matt. You got the reveal.
I think you got so much stuff in that. Like, all the stuff you loved, the stuff with Tom Courtenay in the interrogation room, which was the big base of the final episode, and the stuff with Gemma Jones being taken away. And I think they got all of those endings right for me. I think everything, because sometimes, obviously, endings we're not fans of, but I think they got everything about the ending right, and that was quite hard, seeing as the amount of characters they had. I think everything sort of built gradually. I think the pacing of Unforgotten was just right.
I suppose if it comes down to, like Gary says, they're both getting second series, which one do we want to see the second series of more? Probably Unforgotten.
And I just think
I think it's got more of a plausible reason for Series 2 than Dr.
characters
Foster.
were more down to earth. I think Nicola Walker's character you liked more, and Sanjeev Bhaskar's character, and I think the writing
I don't feel they drained Nicola Walker's character. Like, you never found out why she left her husband. You never found out what happened to her mother. It wasn't like they pulled the character apart and said, right, here's everything about her. They just showed you bits, so there's more to come that they can do and be creative with.
I really like Dr. Foster, but I think it was sort of almost too melodramatic, and I think if you went back, I don't think it was one where you're in the moment, and I think if you went back and watched both of those series, I think Unforgotten would still have maybe repeat viewing value, whereas Dr. Foster wouldn't.
Okay, so there you have it. Our number one show, after nearly falling out and stubbing my toe at a crucial moment, is Unforgotten.
Oddly,
the ITV
wins.
Oh my God! Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk that?
Other ITV shows are there?
None.
Yeah.
None. In fact, it is also the only ITV show of the entire year to make it onto our best of the year.
Although I did argue for Get Your Act Together and You're Back in the Room, but Luke shut me down.
Yeah, and I put in that barbecue show somewhere, so...
Block Stars.
Yeah, but that's that's only because you thought it was going to actually get...
Well,
actually, Gary did include Inside the Commons, which was a bizarre choice.
Well, no, but there was a reason for that, and you know what the reason for that was, is because I was asked to take out some US shows. And I do remember, the way I did my top 10 list was I went through all the shows that we'd reviewed and then ranked them. And I do remember...
then just ranked the ones you'd seen.
No. And I do remember Inside the Commons being very good. And as you said, it was diverse. I was looking for something different on my list.
We didn't do a worst of the year this year, did we? So...
No, we didn't.
Just everything else that was on ITV. That's the worst of.
Yes, everything. I did start a worst of list, and I didn't continue it on the website. But it's not been a great year. Those shows are the standout.
And to finish, I think Gary should sing the theme tune to Unforgotten,
which I loved. It's my favourite theme tune of the year.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Yeah. Sorry, Gary's not available at the moment. No, I don't sing on podcasts anymore. Come on, that's so last year.
Oh, we should do the final quiz.
I don't have it ready.
Oh,
you don't?
Are we doing it for another podcast?
Ready?
I have to do another. I'll have to do that. We'll have to do that for another time. I don't have the end of the year quiz ready.
So we'll have to do another podcast then.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to have time to do it.
In the next week or so, obviously.
The listeners, I'm sure, will stick with us while we practice that. But no, sorry, I've been a bit busy.
So how are we going to finish this one? Luke, have you got any words of wisdom?
I won a quiz today at work. Does that count?
No.
What were the quiz?
Well, it was a Christmas quiz that we do every year at our Bring and Share lunch, and I won.
Did you actually share anything?
Yeah, I managed to convince KFC to give me 14 pieces of chicken for the price of 10 because I wasn't having chips with it. That's not just me, that's for the whole lot. I didn't eat 14 pieces of chicken before you make that joke.
I never thought you did.
No. Though I am tempted to go and get some chicken now because I'm hungry. So yeah, I used some of my apprentice skills to get a bit of a deal at KFC.
Oh, God. Okay, I just want to look at it. I did start this list. Let's just look at it quick. Now you see it. The worst of the year. Now you see it. Harry Hill's... It was a magician show.
Yeah, it was...
Harry...
It was the kind of... Oh, gosh. I can't remember who hosted it. It was no one famous. Wasn't it all kind of different?
Was it not just clips?
Gidrich. It was an awful clip show. And then Harry Hill Stars in Their Eyes. That was January.
Yeah, poor old...
10,000 BC was on Channel 5 in February. The Gift, which was like Long Lost Family but worse, on February and BBC One. Matt Lucas's Pompidou, the great big painting challenge. You're Back in the Room. Play It to the Whistle. The Delivery Man. Suntrap. The Interceptor. Love Island. Prized Apart. Flock Stars. The Barbecue Champ.
Ugh.
Mostly ITV.
I feel dirty now. I think I need to have a shower.
Mostly
Matt's
ITV
been
shows,
sick in his mouth.
So. I'm sure there are others that...
Yeah.
I think,
there are others, but...
I think what we can say is that, and even next year, when we're going to get another series of The Voice before it moves over to ITV, and we don't know what's going to happen to things like The X Factor and things like that, again, there just seems to be a lack of new ideas, and it's just annoying. I don't know why that is. Why can't some fresh ideas come in? Why can't some people think of new things? Is it that hard? I do it every week with the quiz.
Barely.
Well, what was Keith Barron's character called in Duty Free?
No, I'm only doing questions about Minder. Do you mind? Thank you.
Okay, that was that then. That's the final podcast of the year. Yet more editing for me to do before my sprouts. It is the Custard TV podcast. We will be back in January with more...
Could say no to the sprouts, you know that.
Well, it's part of the meal. We'll be back in January with more podcastness. I may replace one of the two, next year. I don't know who with. But
yeah, fresh the lineup.
We might replace you.
Yeah.
Well, if that person can piece it all together
and
make sense to Gary, then go ahead.
We might ask for a new website and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, you get on that.
Yeah, that's right.
Over the Christmas period.
We actually? I tell you what, we could do for the quiz is I could delay the final part of the quiz And maybe next year we can try and have, I don't know, a time when we all meet up, and this time I'll actually come.
If it's going to be down that same dark alley again, I didn't feel very comfortable.
Oh no, but there's like award shows that we were going to go to, and then
I only found Matt because of the sound of northernness in the air, but it was really awkward.
That time you shared a hotel room in Edinburgh that we're not allowed to talk about.
Well, we can talk about it, just don't mention the loofah again. That's what I said.
No, fair enough.
Okay, so that is it. What a lovely way to end.
What? I tell you what. Tell me what you want for Christmas. Come on, just nice. Matt, what do you want for Christmas? Don't say world peace.
World peace. World domination.
World domination.
That's more like it. Yeah.
Again.
I don't think I do want anything for Christmas.
I'd like an Xbox. What is it? Is an Xbox One or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what you need. Another excuse not to watch telly.
Yeah. A second life so that I can watch all the telly I've got saved up.
Well, no, just watch all the telly you've got saved up.
There's other things, and then I end up recording a podcast for an hour.
I think I'd like a female sheep.
You?
All I want for Christmas is you.
Come on. Yeah.
You're saving that one up all year.
All I want for Christmas is Natalie Imbruglia.
And yet you still don't know whether it's going to get used or not, or whether I'm just going to cut it out.
That's the same every week.
Yeah, I think that every week.
Yeah. All I want for Christmas is Luke to stop editing my thoughts.
1 week, I reckon there's just going to be a podcast of Luke and you and I, Matt.
No, because the one time that's happened, I edited myself out.
That's true, you did do that.
And it ended up being just you and him.
So 1 week, you need to do a podcast where me and Matt don't appear.
And that was quite a good episode.
I do remember that.
I don't remember why I decided to cut myself out.
You had a bad throat or something, didn't you? I think you weren't well or something, and you only joined us for like the first bit.
Okay.
I don't remember.
All right then.
Memories. I'm not singing.
Like the colour of your eyes.
Your ass.
That's what I heard as well.